Hey y'all, Contessa back with your Friday Fright. I promised you guys in my stream that I was going to be doing this one. So, those of you who caught the stream have already heard bits of what this is going to entail. The reason I'm doing this is because I keep getting messages. I keep seeing her constantly talking about the same BS. And now we have creators confirming what I said before, that she is a source of information. And I think it's time that we actually go over how much plain sides of this has been done by said person. I tried to warn everybody. I tried to get in front of this. I tried to warn her that I didn't want to ever have to go here. But when pushed and pushed and pushed and continued to be lied on daily by her and her little buddies that she's now hooked up with somehow, I've tried everything of being nice to this person, tried to warn this person, backed away from this person. But because this person has some sort of weird obsession with putting nonsense in the middle of all of this other stuff and or continuing to tag my page in her posts and then calling other people's police departments and claiming that they are behind my page, I've had it. I have frankly had enough of all of the drama surrounding this person and or people involved with her. 100% had enough of her bullshit. I know for a fact that she's been intentionally passing off misinformation in this story. I'm not even going to go into all the other text messages I have that she sent to other people. I'm going to talk about what she said to me, to my page about this story and why it's a problem. We're not even going to touch on some of the other things that she has done. But let's get into this. And of course, the first little clip you see comes from MollyGoLightly stream that she did the other night. I think she might have either dirty deleted this stream or put it on members only, but I do have the longer video of this. This is just a tiny little clip. As always, this content falls under the fair use guidelines. This is based on my opinion and or experiences with the following person. This is my opinion, nobody else's opinion or facts from anybody else but Contessa herself.
About his life.
They certainly don't care about his family.
Of course, we start off with them once again talking about none of us that are calling out the facts care about Marvon's family because we've all been attacking Marvon's family. What are you guys all doing to Dre? His wife and his children. Can you answer that? Anybody? Let's just start there. Can you answer that? Nope, can't.
No. And they're not getting anything out of this. They think that they can break me. You got the wrong motherfucker. You got the wrong motherfucker. I've never.
For me, it has never been about breaking somebody or silencing somebody. We want the truth. That's what we want. I think that telling the truth might break you. I think that that's what you might be leading towards. If you ever have to be honest, that it might break you to the core to be honest, because it would be years of going back and correcting your misstatements and mishaps, wouldn't it?
Back down from. Yeah, they are racist.
I find it awfully interesting that this is what she's choosing to call people who are asking questions, because she has had a whole lot to say, a whole lot that I've already called out over here that's questionable in my opinion. But now, because we have been asking questions, we are the ones that
And guess what? There's one girl Erica, knows everything about every single one of them, and now they're running scared.
I had spoke on this before that I knew Erica was one of their sources that was helping them with information, but Molly finally confirmed it publicly to everybody that Erica has been in communication with her and claims to know everything and everybody, and now we're all running scared. First and foremost, I don't see anybody running whatsoever. That's not happening. But secondly, I want to let you in on a little bit of background, because I think it's about time you understand that when I told you that there was people playing both sides and intentionally putting misinformation into the story, I was speaking of Erica, especially. And Erica, you have nobody to thank for this upcoming video but yourself. I have been transparent with everybody from moment one. I told you that I hate exposing messages because I just don't like to do that. But when pushed and lied on, I don't have a choice. And once again, as always, please do not harass anybody based off of what is in this video. I am going to show you 2 of her complete profiles messages to the nonsense page. These are messages between me, myself, and Erica Shingara, and I will prove it all as we go. Also, I do have to provide some extra verification of some things. These are screen recordings of the messages, but she had already removed her profile picture before I screen recorded the entire messages. So I do go back and link up screenshots verifying that it's actually her profile at the end of this screen recording. Message starts out on July 22nd at 11:49 a.m. Erica reached out to the page and said, "Be careful with info from Without a Crystal Ball. The family is working behind the scenes to have her stopped as she is reporting false information. She also set up a Cash App and has not confirmed anything with the actual father of the girls. There is a video of Without a Crystal Ball admitting that. Also, Without a Crystal Ball is getting stars using Vaughn's name and only gave $600 to the family when she's making more than that. Go to YouTube and type Without a Crystal Ball income. She released how much she's making off all these apps." You can see by her opening message to me that her concern was about Katie. That's what she wanted to talk about, was Katie. I think I had reposted something of Katie's or commented on a video of Katie's, and this is the response I had gotten from that. I responded to her and said, "Well, if they want things stopped, she should have addressed that in her comments. It's a mess on all their parts at this time. I only post info I can verify myself. Yes, she released what's happening with the father, but I verified the court stuff myself. Thanks for the heads up, but all them YouTubers are liars and frauds that are causing shit with this, but it's starting somewhere, so it'll all come out." No, just to clarify, I do not think that everybody that has a YouTube is a liar and a fraud. I think that a lot of the people that have been involved in this story are liars. Therefore, absolutely, in my opinion, becoming frauds because they continue to lie to their followers over and over again. But you can see on July 22nd that I thought they all were the same way. Every single one of them. Nobody got special treatment from me then. Interesting, huh? She goes on to say, they have, but Without a Crystal Ball has blocked. I think what she meant was the family did. But once again, I already proved that that was false. Goes on to say, it got to the point where they said via live for her to stop. She won't. I never heard the family ask her to stop, just the other creators. I responded to her and asked, where is that live? I want to see that, but no one can tell me exactly where the mom or dad, only to that matter, asked anyone for anything. She responds and says, let me grab it for you. Also, the family asked for the drama to stop, yet Without a Crystal Ball keeps it going. I've been following closely on YouTube. I've only missed 1 or 2 lives so far. I've also been making sure the money gets to Vaughn as directed. Also, stepfather is supposed to try and come live today. Not sure if he will. I respond to her and say, see, I don't agree there. I've been seeing a lot and I'm not blind. It's not just Katie. In fact, she's the least of the issues right now. She might not be liked, and I've never even spoken to her, but she's far from the one causing issues. Again, I hadn't spoken to her. She responds and says, I have seen a few channels also besides Katie that are making money off this. It's sickening. I know if Katie is getting what she released to the one channel she gets from apps, MGL and J4A has to be also. Responded and said, a few, there's a ton. Molly made a bunch. Also, they need to all shut the fuck up. Can you tell I was done with the drama months ago? She responds with, along with other channels that just doing the story, I think they should get every dollar to the family when they do a story, every piece of it. I don't care if YouTube is their job. If they are doing a story and getting any type of money, give it to the family, all of it, not just post their Cash App. I responded and said, the family needs to end it all by having their attorney help them. This is a PR nightmare. Any decent attorney would tell them enough. Holy crap, I was saying that all the way back in July? Erica responds and says, I'm going through the videos now to get that to you. Also, if you know how to enhance. This morning, Justin called Molly. She took it off speakerphone. Some still heard what he said during the call. It's spectating rumors of someone else in the hospital with the same name. Follows up and says, never mind, they deleted that live from this morning. Fuck. Then you can see she drops me a couple of Molly's links to videos, and I say, what are those? He responds and says, the one this morning I am seeing, if anyone has a screen recording, you need to hear that and enhance. It's been deleted. Those are where the family has been speaking about certain things to clear up rumors. Now something is fishy. They are deleting certain lives. Why? We know that they dirty delete, but I don't think this live actually existed like Erica claims. I respond and say, I'm telling you from what I know, just be careful. That's all I'll tell you, but things are not always as they seem. I've been saying that all along. Erica responds and says, I'm watching closely. They are deleting. I just went through the channels a lot. Of it is gone from the past 2 weeks. I said, I can't post things I want to yet, but it's coming. I'm easing everyone into it like I did Heather. Responds and says, Miss Letitia and Mr. Jackson need to just stay quiet and let the courts deal with this now. I said, who is Letitia's lawyers? They are not doing a good job at all. Remember, I already had the information of who she was supposedly working with. Guest responds and says, it is the teen something they are called. It is a small law firm. She had to have 4 down. She paid that. Mr. Jackson wanted her to go with the other lawyer because they seem to know more than this teen's attorney law firm. Keystone from out of Florida is who he wanted. Nothing has been filed that the public can see. I don't think that they are moving fast enough. All they did was talk to Dre and make demands of supervised visits. Remember, this is what she's telling me. My response was, yeah, unless they have an order on Marvon, which would be a court order, then they could seal that info. But if anything was filed, it would be updated and nothing is filed. It's been almost 9 weeks. They've known for 6 weeks. What's going on? Is the family using one attorney for all of them or separate? Have you heard that even? Florida attorney wouldn't work unless they are licensed to practice in Arizona or a partner in Arizona. Once again, she responds and says, I believe Mr. Jackson is giving a chance to Mrs. Letitia's attorney. We are asking that Mrs. Letitia get a PayPal or something so people can give direct to the attorney. That way there is no gray areas. I believe that's how it should have been from the start. All donations direct to whatever lawyer they used. My response was, check my newest post. People have explaining to do. She says, holy shit, I had a feeling once you question things, you and I have always had similar views or feelings on these situations. Negatory, ghost writer. There is no you and I. Never has been, never will be, never would be. But I responded and said, I wish I was wrong. I really do on this. Guest responds and says, wait, so why are they sending the stepmom money? I responded and said, this makes me so mad. Exactly. To which ES responds and says, I'm fuming. Is that why Mrs. Jackson said to send all the money to Letitia the other day? Then Miss Jackson said they are trying to get someone else out there? Who the fuck are all of these people going out? Also, then who is it on the phone? Is that why Mr. Jackson wasn't on live the past few days? He was supposed to be live. I responded and said, yeah, lots of questions now. She responds and says, I am so sorry. I am the first to admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. They haven't been as transparent as I believed. I responded and said, who's reporting shit already? To which ES responds and says, that's fucking wrong if they are reporting you. I pulled over to read your post since I'm driving. I have to get to the store before 8:30. She responds at 8:36 p.m. and says, bingo, that's who reported your post because you were able to post about it first. Without a crystal ball, I bet you money. She continues and says, also, I can give you what I found also. Reddit. I'm sure you have it, but supposedly said brother is commenting there. He also left an Instagram account. Then she proceeds to drop a bunch of screenshots from the Reddit post and other places. I respond and said, I'm so angry. What about Marvon? None of these people care about him. They only care about dollar. To which ES responds and says, no, they all want money. I had a strong feeling once more cash apps appeared. I didn't want to believe it. All these people are out for the money. And I'm not saying you because I know you haven't gotten a dime and never would accept any money. Then she continues at 9:35 and says, do you want me to start getting resources for people about the money given? To which I say, oh, you're okay. Sorry, things flew so fast. And then I posted the wrong photos to you and blah, LOL. I knew the internet would explode. Continued and said, I think having those resources handy will be helpful. Which ES responds and says, it's okay, hun. It has me furious that they're doing this. That's why last week how I said I was confused with info. I knew something was wrong when all the Cash Apps appeared. For clarification purposes, I left her real voice at the beginning and the end of the voice clip that she sends me coming up, just so people can verify that, yes, that is her voice.
Also, red flag about the threat that Without a Crystal Ball has up, due to the fact Mrs. Jackson was live on the telephone and said, only pin Letitia's Cash App for the lawyer, blah, blah, blah. That they were fine, they were good, they didn't need nothing. So they were pinning Miss Letitia's Cash App. Then suddenly, as of this morning, supposedly the sister who didn't get to see Vaughn wants to go down and they needed money. That was the whole reason behind the fundraiser this morning, was to raise money to be sent to the sister that's with Mrs. Jackson. So if all this was going down, where did this threat come in at between Letitia and Mrs. Jackson? If anything, one of them said they were coming clean, and that's when that happened. Or the threat never happened at all. I don't believe the threat happened due to the fact Mrs. Jackson and Letitia were getting along.
And yes, I'm 100% sure that's her voice. Then, as you can see, she drops me another link. It says that channel has all the 911 recordings. They are going live tomorrow from 2015 to the incident. Whose channel do you think she sent me? Now, some of you that have been running your mouths are going to get put in your place, because I was even questioning Katie and Katie's intentions because I didn't know at the time and I wasn't sure of what was happening. So you too will get to see with your own eyes and hear me say it outwardly that I was questioning her. As you all are well aware, I have said many times that my opinions have changed due to the facts that have been proven. That is why my opinions have changed drastically. I responded and said, they said something about 7 siblings, but the sister wanted to go next. Then I continued, I would love to see all the messages. If it was me, I'd post them all if that's what Katie was actually told. No way would I have hold that for anyone. That's facts and proof, and I think those followers deserve to know the truth from all sides. I think many are lying. I also think Molly and Katie were also donating to them as a way to secure a source and keep a source. I've never spoken to any of that family, but I don't post their info either. And I'm a tiny page, but still they are using the YouTubers against each other also. They legit have the YouTubers in a perfect spot. So I honestly think it's a lot is going to crumble soon. The next morning, she responds and says, exactly, I agree. I fell asleep watching that Britney broad. They got the 911 tapes to play from 2015 to now. The only reason Katie wouldn't show the proof is if she knows damn well she copied from your page. She's known to have that reputation. True Cuntessa fashion, I said, all of them are idiots. She responds and says, I'm watching YouTube, listening to the excuses. I responded and said, this is so gross. There's no attorney. There's no nothing. This shit's all been smoke and mirrors. She responds and says, I just listened to a magician's manner. I emailed Molly about the attorney stuff. Molly said she is waiting on a receipt as well, that she did ask Miss Letitia and Molly did address on the live. She didn't know why the attorney was not acting on things. She really did start questioning, but didn't want to offend the family. She said she has been blunt. And once again, I responded and said, I'm not buying it. There's no way Molly is that ignorant. To which ES responds and says, I wonder if she isn't being assertive because she doesn't want to be blocked like Katie was. If you look at past videos, she is assertive on all sides. This time, it's different. Yes, just for clarification, she did send me her phone number, which I have covered up. I responded and said, I don't know, something's off. I want to see what Justin says. He's usually more level-headed. She responds and says, yes, I agree. I just sent Justin an email. He said he's blown away by all of this. Justin, did you get an email on July 23rd from ES? I responded and said, well, sadly, it's not going to go away easily because people deserve answers. Which ES responds and says, I agree. If ever you can't reach me, here's my number. Also, I made a page I was asked to. It's Justice for Victims. I want to help actual victims.
Hey, I just met you. And yes, I'm crazy. But here's my number. So call me maybe.
I responded and said, that's a good idea. However, the narrative is being pushed that it's all okay still. It's not okay. This isn't okay. This isn't justice for Marvon. Yes responds once again and says, I completely agree with you. Also, Without a Crystal Ball is now helping Dre because the family doesn't want her involved, period. Dre is dumb enough to play the game. Responded and said, she's helping Dre do exactly what, LOL? There's no help for Dre. The authorities have to do their jobs there and figure out that piece. You all have heard me say this time and time again, but I'm going to say it once again. I don't understand the train of thought of what random strangers or YouTubers are going to do to help Dre. That is something that I have not understood from the start of this, and I still don't. I don't get what they expect they're going to do to help Dre. And here we are, 4 months into the story, and not a single person has been charged with anything in relation to this story whatsoever. ES responds and says, I guess she thinks she's helping Dre is a better way to put it. What I don't like is why a friend of the family made a Cash App. I did message what is supposed to be Marvon's brother, waiting for a response. To which I replied and said, I don't understand why people are picking sides between Katie and Molly. Honestly, in that entire shit show. They are all clowns, and that will come out. Just wait. This ball is barely started. I personally wouldn't reach out to the family. I would hope the family would stop talking and regroup and get away from the shit right now, because it's going to get deeper, in my opinion, and they are all going to come into questioning, I do believe. I publicly owe Katie an apology for calling her a clown and or grouping her in with them. At this time, they were still all kind of in one group to me on YouTube because I didn't know who any of them were. So to me, all of it was a mess. But Katie, I'm sorry that I called you those names. Katie and I did have a conversation very shortly after this, but that was our first conversation. And you too now can see that I had no idea who she was, what she was doing, what her intentions were, anything. I thought they were all a mess and all doing things intentionally. Then we found out that they were being intentionally misled by the family. And Katie was one of the very first big creators. In fact, the only big creator that has came out and owned their shit still to this moment. Let's continue. ES responds and says, I only reached out to him to see if there was anything I can do. I usually don't ever message family, but I also wanted to make sure the source was really him because Without a Crystal Ball has taken his words and posted them directly also. First and foremost, you can see in the messages that I advised her not to reach out to family, and she already had. I responded and said, what a damn mess. This whole thing makes me sick. ES responds and says, I have trouble sleeping worrying about Vaughn. I don't understand why they just can't do without the money crap. Without a Crystal Ball also monetized videos that are of Dre. I responded and said, it's all gross, all of it. ES responds and says, I agree. Honestly, once they had reached their goal, they should have said, okay, that's enough. If they didn't need the attorney, then they should refund. My response was, what is their goal even? No one even has a clue of what's actually been collected. If there's proof of an attorney, they best provide it because people do deserve answers. ES responds and says, I was under the assumption she just needed $4,000, but on a page they got messaged by Letitia that she was given $15,000 Cash App. I responded and said, did a page post that she said that? I'd love to see that because that's sick. ES responds and says, no, they told me in private. They are waiting on confirmation if it's true. Apparently, Letitia has been emptying Cash App before saying 000. She continues and says, maybe we need to do like Heather's situation and ask people if they would like to come forward. I also found a way as it is theft by deception if they did not get a lawyer. I responded and said, those groups and pages need to get ahead of shit and stop blocking people for asking questions. I've got texts that will destroy the Justice for Vaughn group if I post and all their reputations because they've been helping Letitia, or some have. Y'all, when I say I was really trying to warn people, I had been trying to warn people. Pay attention coming up. ES responds and says, I got blocked for bringing up questions. I want to know why. If you noticed, Cartman got quiet also. A few pages went hush hush. Also, it has been confirmed Katie didn't have any knowledge of the information you posted. So, yes, she most likely reported you. It's a pattern she has. Also, she deleted the live about where she admitted she has not spoken to Letitia since Saturday. Meanwhile, she made posts all week that she was supposedly speaking with Letitia and Jackson. I responded and said, "These people are so messy." Then I said, "I don't care if she did take my info and use it. I can't and won't verify the other BS." Guest responds and says, "Last week when I told you there was a lot I was confused by, that each page has been running with shit before they verified anything, not your page, but the other pages. There's a way to verify said sources, and if they want to remain anonymous, great. But I knew once all these cash apps appeared, it was going to turn into greed." I said, "Yep, surely did. And now damage control starts. I hope everyone's grabbing the posts they've all made before they disappear, because they will." ES goes on to say, "Also, there is no harm in posting receipts. I do it all the time if I have a fundraiser. Also, with our pig roasting business, we have to give each client a copy of them to show what we paid for products and what the cost of labor is. So why can't anyone else be as transparent and honest? Oh shit, Crystal Ball is requesting a refund." I responded and said, "Yeah, transparency is so deserved in this situation. It's wild how adults try to act like it's no one's business." ES responds and says, "YouTubers made it that no one ask once money is given, it's given. That's not how this goes. Now, I also know if Katie is making that kind of money, the YouTubers are also. $20 for a signed photo of them. The only one that does that is your buddy over there that you're giving information to. You know, that one's calling you her source." Oh shit, that's right. You got a signed autographed picture of her because you joined her Patreon. Are you so excited, Erica? Did you frame it? But then she continues and says, "Oh, I'm looking at their wish list and merch too. It's beyond crazy." Actually sent me the link to somebody's Amazon wish list. She said, "Also, look into getting paid by YouTube. Each one of them are getting paid." On her Miss Petty whatever page, she had made some post. So on July 23rd at 4:31 p.m., I pop in and say, "Just so we are clear, I'm not hiding behind a page because I'm trying to keep the upper hand. I just don't like BS, period." This responds and says, No, that comment isn't about you. It's about what happened to me. It's about the community that went after me. They hid behind a page to attack me. Never Silenced was one of them also." I responded and said, "I was just being clear. I'm waiting for anyone to take accountability here, and there's nothing." So what does she do? Send me a screenshot that means nothing to what I care about. The screenshot, she says, "There's a lot I don't know if you know, but I've been attacked from 2018 to now." I responded and said, "Oh, I remember, yes. I wasn't a part of any of the groups or on sides, but I've seen all for years. I've been around way too long." Again, I was being honest with her. I have been around for years and watched a lot of this unfold. I was well aware of who she was and how she works in situations like this. ES continues and says, "They didn't believe I had authorities involved, but I kept telling them I did. I have an arrest with JDP, but those same people that attacked me think by leaving me alone for the moment, it will go away. They told me JDP is the first of the charges. Everything I've ever spoke was truth, and if I was wrong, I'd admit I was wrong. I've always said what I done, yet was accused of everything they truly were doing to people. I even got offline for 2 years, which I know you are not hiding. That comment wasn't about your page." I responded and said, "Only reason I haven't came out and owned this page is really because my life is a little wild, but nothing bad or embarrassing that I wouldn't own it. It's just a lot, so I try to keep things separate. I'm proud of the things I post and stand by them. I know how all of these people operate, and I've been really lucky to stay a loner all of these years." Just to be clear, when I say that I'm a loner, this page is ran by solely me and only me. But I've met amazing people out here and have great relationships with quite a few. I have purposely stayed away from people I'm closest to so they don't get blamed for anything I'm doing or talking about, because for some reason, everybody gets blamed for anything. I digress. ES responds and says, "No, you stay hidden. Do not come out. These people are crazy." Notice how back on July 23rd, she's encouraging for me to not come out and give my identity to anybody. But Meanwhile, she's been trying to get my identity from every single person possible. That is what has been attempted over and over and over again. And I don't think she's necessarily working alone. ES continues, you also don't do what the others have done. I love your page, which when the Heather thing came about, that's why I reached to you. I responded and said, sorry, I'm about to fight a bitch in my comments. I don't fucking like Katie. At the time, I didn't. That was based solely on what she was reporting in this story. She too had been lied to. I continued though. I shared her shit because she posted after I did, and I thought it was hysterical how my other post disappeared, and then here she comes. Like, these people are fucking clowns. I've never spoken to her. I've made like 3 comments on videos of hers in the beginning before I knew shit about her. I sat and watched and realized fast, Lord, I want to fight through the phone at times. Anyone want to take a guess of which cater it was that had me all riled up that I wanted to punch a bitch through the phone? Can you guess which one? I bet some of you will actually know which one I was talking about. She was one of the very first to get blocked off my page, actually. I was so angry because people knew, even Erica knows I'm not Katie or associated with, but they kept running with it. I continued and said, yeah, I'm not coming out of hiding right now. I think people have assumptions, and that's fine. I've had issues with only one person ever, and that's it. I get along with most people, but I stay away from almost everyone too. I just watch, LOL. Yes responds and says, I can't stand without a crystal ball. If you need me, tag me. I got your back always. I responded and said, I just find it funny how people assume that, LOL. And I was referring to that Katie ran my page. I said, I don't share YouTube stuff often because there's no need. If I do, there's good questions, but even the ones I share, I don't really know shit about. The only YouTuber I follow is Cece, but have forever. And she's, I'm sure, well aware of all that's happening and why she isn't doing more videos on it either. Notice the dates. She says, hey, if I disappear, they hit my account. I have an alt that I made named Sunny Cider with an egg as a picture, hoping I could trust you like I do to keep that between us. There is another Sunny profile. I don't know who it is, but I'm Sunny Cider with an egg. And yes, there is another account. Yes. I said, okay, perfect. I'll know to watch for it. I won't say shit. She says, I figured you wouldn't. Just wanted to give you the heads up. In all honesty, I never would have said a word if she would have stopped her shit and stopped the games that she's been playing. ES continues and says, Molly yelled at me a little bit ago for correcting her. I said, oh Lord, well, she's on my radar big time because I've just now seen some shit she said and I'm like, what the fuck is this stuff? I really wish Justin would message the page. I really, really do. I don't think he realizes what's going on, honestly, but maybe I'm wrong. Look back on July 24th. I was still even thinking Justin was a decent guy. See how confused I was? But pay attention to those dates because those dates end. And then all of a sudden, her new profile pops in and says more. I messaged her on July 27th and said, hey, don't bring your fight with Katie to my page, please. I don't care what you do or say elsewhere, but there's info posted that's not factual and not actually verified in this stuff being said, and I can't have that. Thanks for understanding. If she starts attacking, I'll remove that too, and I'm going to look. She didn't respond to that message until August 1st. She says, hey, I haven't been online, hun. I'm staying off. To which August 2nd, 7:41 a.m., I responded and said, girl, stop playing. One thing I'm not was born yesterday. I know alts and pages. It's all good. Trust me. I'm not blabbing who you are, but people know. It's like some to know who I am and some I voice chat with even. I'm not really hidden. I just don't run in certain circles and I know who people are in those circles operate still. Anyways, all is good. And then she pops up and sends me 2 screenshots of an order from Minnesota on August 3rd at 1:36 p.m. I was able to verify those orders were null and void. She did make follow-up reports more recently, but that one was just not it. She also, with those screenshots, says to me, that's how serious I am being. To which I responded, what's that? I'm not working with her. You do know that, right? Like, she messages me and that's it. But we don't even agree on this case really, so I don't have shit to do with things. And if you notice, she started off the messages by going at Katie and then continued to try and get me to question Katie. And the further I came around and saw the truth, and the more I didn't question Katie, the more she pulled away. As soon as I called her out for this bullshit, though, she got mad but switched to her alt. Watch. Oh, but another interesting detail of this whole thing is not only did she switch to another profile, but in the meantime that she's messaging me all this stuff off of her main profile, right? She was also text messaging people, encouraging them to ask for refunds. I have those text messages. Again, I'm not going to post them yet, but I'm not saying that's not going to happen. She has been encouraging people to ask for refunds, even going as far as telling people she filed a police report on her donation to Letitia. And because of that report, that's how she got a refund, which wasn't true. Molly, if you want to see those messages, hit my inbox up. I'll show you every single one of them. This has not been what it seemed. And Erica has been out here running from this side, spreading misinformation, to that side, spreading misinformation, and back and forth. But let's continue. Oh, and here is screenshots that match the last ones with her actual profile. So anybody that says, oh, that message is just from Facebook user, you can't prove that that was Erica. Yeah, you can. The whole screen recording, I didn't take the screen recording until after she removed her picture, but I had taken screenshots of some of her messages, and they have her information that matches that screen recording. You can do that yourself. But we're going to even go further because now I'm going to show you one of her alts. So this is Erica sending a message to somebody that this is her alt. Once again, I'm providing a couple of screenshots because you see the profile picture at the top. Well, she changed it. So the screen recording has a different photo. It's the same account. Those screenshots that you just saw will match up in the screen recording. So you'll see that she just changed her profile picture. That's why I'm providing transparency once again. So there is no questions that should be asked after this. It's all been verified back and forth. I've checked it multiple times, 100% factual that this is the conversation between me and her and one of her many alts. Yeah, there's a few more in my inbox too. But we will see how much further she wants to keep pushing things. Notice that these messages start between me and her alt on July 25th. Starts off by her sending me a bunch of screenshots and then saying, Molly is getting money too. I respond and say, yep, that's why she won't put a stop to the rumors and present facts because she's afraid the train will dry up and she intends on writing this out. There is a lot of hands in this. I asked her, do you mind if I post these screenshots? She comes back and says, I have more, and drops a bunch more. After the screenshots, she says, those are stats on both YouTube, Instagram, and her other YouTube. Use whatever you like. Another channel has KJs. I responded and said, do you happen to have any of the other creators who have been making bank on this story also? Thank you. I'll look for hers. I'll see if I can find Justin's. I'm just curious now. ES responds and says, will do. All three didn't start going up until Vaughn's story. All three are guilty. That does not include merch and other apps like AdSense and the engagement apps. She was flagged on 2 videos that she did not make anything. I said, wow, that's wild. I am YouTube dumb though. She says, me too. I Googled their channel names. At the end, I put income. I was just able to find Molly and KJ's. Justice isn't coming up. And she sends me more screenshots with their income and stats off YouTube, which I don't really understand. Then she says, whatever info I get sent to my page, I will give to you. I said, thank you. I appreciate all the help because this is wild. My head is spinning. Yes responds and says, you're welcome. I made a page that I'm now being called fake for putting out there what they won't. They brought these people to this community. Mind you, at this time, yes, did not know that I knew that this was her alt. But I already knew that this was her alt and what she was doing on certain pages because she's got multiple. This time, I was still unaware of who she was blaming for bringing these people into this community. So I respond and say, oh my God, this is sick. Just keep your head down and keep posting. Let them say whatever. The truth has to get out there. Did you post these on your page, I'll share your post from the page to help you get these out. Thinking, oh, it's facts, right? She's going to post them. Nope, she didn't. Well, wait, that's because she was trying to act like that one page wasn't her, the one she was using to attack just certain people over and over again. She responds and says, I didn't get to post it all yet. I now have a Truth Seekers page I'm moving everything to. I'm putting it all out. I don't want to tie up justice for Vaughn. I said, they won't post anything in regards to transparency. She says, no, none of them will. I said, oh, Truth Seekers? I think I've seen that one. I said, let me know when you do and I'll share. We got to pause for just a second. Have any of you seen me post anything about a Truth Seekers page? Does anybody quite remember me mentioning that in one of my videos? And this is not to get confused with the other Truth Seekers YouTube page, but Justin specifically had a fit one night when somebody blocked a Truth Seekers account. Does anybody remember that? If you don't, the clip is in one of my videos and it's actually entertaining, but I tried to tell y'all to pay attention and I dropped that name going, why would he be making a big deal out of somebody blocking Truth Seekers? Why would that be happening? Well, it's because this source of his has been feeding them misinformation all along. And yes, just so everybody is aware, I do have text messages from Erica proving that Truth Seekers is her page. She sent screenshots and that it shows that that is her page. Again, text messages. They're not fake. None of it's fake. There is some posted on Facebook already. She responds and says, I shared your video on it. I said, thanks for helping out spreading the truth. Instead, she says, did you see this app they're using? Once again, in true Cuntessa fashion, I said, I just want facts and not getting any. To which EX responds and says, that is how they have the accurate income from YouTube and Instagram. That app pays MGL, J4A, and without a crystal ball. AdSense and another app as well pays them. To which I respond and say, oh, I don't know shit about all of that stuff. I'm a bored asshole who got in a mess because I can't be quiet, LOL. Wow, that's not shocking and great info, though. They are definitely profiting. Yes responds and says, the pages that drug these YouTubers over here won't post or say a word because they don't want to look foolish. They need to get this shit out there. They have their people giving money. I have 19 people showing me they gave Katie money direct for the family. They have no idea if it got to them. Also, make sure the receipts don't get into the wrong hands. She continues, you know what I mean. They will contact her attorneys. Hey, yes. Come here. Don't you remember you're the one that tried to give me the attorney information not once, but twice? Oh, yeah, that's right. Again, I have been transparent from the start. There is absolutely no reason the attorney's information needed to be posted. I responded and said, I don't share anything with anyone, LOL. I have trust issues. I don't even have admins or anything. I'm very careful because this is actually a legal issue. Yes responds and says, I know you don't, but Letitia needs to watch that certain crowd. I think you fit into that certain crowd that she should have avoided, Erica, considering you have done nothing but be a snake in the grass, talking shit on all of them. To which I responded and said, oh yeah, she got right in with a bunch who saw a come up off this coming their way. That's all it is. Tragedy vultures. To which ES responds and says, yes, we know which pages they run. She sends another screenshot and then says, if Without a Crystal Ball was about kids, why hasn't she posted updates from her source? Which I respond and said, I don't know what's going on with the kids in certain aspects, but there's lies on both sides there. Molly and Katie both. Dad did okay the funds raised. Legal fees are huge for this. ES responds and says, Dad for the girls? ? Which I responded and said, none of them are in it for anyone but themselves in this. Yes, Dad for the girls. ES responds and says, because so far, according to YouTubers, Dad never responded. I responded and said, yeah, that's been said a ton. That's why I'm staying away from that part of this because that is being handled thankfully. I continued and said, The one thing being done is to help the girls. That's it, though. She responds and says, but what about Roz? I said, nothing, nada. Right now, until CPS does what they want, he's with Dre, which, of course, he would be. The only thing that's being handled is the situation with the girls, thankfully, through the biologic father. Nothing to do with CPS, to my understanding. I don't think CPS is necessarily even involved at this point, just so we're clear. ES responds and says, yep, sad, very sad. Well, did Without a Crystal Ball did receive money to get to the father. They said, why did she ask for a refund when it wasn't her money to refund? She sends me another one of Molly's videos and says, did you see this? Even she this? I responded and said, it's such a mess. I haven't seen this. ES responds and says, I also have where Without a Crystal Ball has said dad won't respond or verify anything. To which I say, yeah, those people are messy. I have a source, of course, I can't talk about, but the kids, the oldest, will hopefully be okay depending on the judge's ruling. I'm not going to be covering stuff with the children as it's not really something that I feel should be focused on, as we can't know what's happening actually because they are minors. So without family, aka dad, directly giving a statement, all is alleged info. Nothing is fact, if that makes sense. And you can go look on my page and see that I have been very hesitant to even discuss the minors in this situation. I don't think it's fair. I think using their photos as clickbait is absolutely disgusting, and I stand by that. ES responds and says, exactly. They don't realize that we do have legit proof. We just can't get it out. I feel so bad for this family because this community is so messed up. I don't know which community she was talking about because I still can't figure out what community she actually is involved when she's been stirring a little bit on every single side of things. I don't really understand. And once again, you'll see that she starts sending me screenshots of something, and you can look at these screenshots and make out whatever you want out of them. You'll notice that I really was confused by these screenshots and what they meant to me whatsoever, because they mean nothing to me. She sends the screenshot. There's two of them. They're from some account to somebody. I don't really even understand still to this point because it's nothing that I've been concerned about or focused on. Again, just random shit. And then she follows up and says, Katie's alt. Isn't it funny that Molly posted a screenshot with a comment from this account and said that this was Katie's alt? And then here you see this person sending me messages claiming that this is Katie's alt. I wonder if the same person sent it to both Molly and I, claiming that that was Katie's alt. I wonder what she thought was going to happen from that, or what she hoped would happen from that. But once again, in true Cuntessa fashion, I said, I'm confused what's happening in that, LOL. Besides, she's using an alt to say she's good. Erica claims she's using an alt messaging people who have spoken up about Without a Crystal Ball. Laugh my fucking ass off. She thought she could fool people. Hey, Erica, maybe you should take some of your own advice. I responded and said, oh, gotcha, LOL. I was confused. She responds and says, wanted to give you a giggle since I know you've had a rough few days. Someone said your page is being shared on Reddit. So if you've got a new following, that's why. Also, I wonder just how many sent money directly to all YouTubers for the family. Here comes Cuntessa once again saying, oh my God, what? LOL, that's not good. Those people are going to be pissed. My ass is over here calling anyone out. I'm a mess. Well, there's discussion about a Cash App not being Letitia's, but I don't know where or what yet. There's comments on the page about it. ES responds and says, the only one I know is the one Katie made isn't the girl's dad, but Miss Jackson and Miss Letitia are. Some are sending to the wrong Cash Apps because people did make copy accounts. I responded and said, I'm so confused on what accounts are actually all theirs. ES responds and says, I will help you, to which I provide a screenshot of accounts that we knew were duplicate or supposedly fake. I also said, do we know if they actually verified and reported these to get them removed? ES responded and said, Miss Letitia said the attorney was going to handle it. When I called, they told me Letitia has to call. I said, that's what I'm stuck on, because if there's money going multiple places in wrong accounts, it needs stopped, but no one can verify actual accounts. ES responds and says, yes, I have people telling me that they accidentally sent to a fake Cash App. Now they are having issues. By the way, that's a new narrative that they've just started with, and that's never been the case. I responded and said, that's what I'm hearing. So accounts really need confirmed badly. No one knows what the right or left hand is actually doing. And again, this was a narrative that they tried to start back then, which never panned out because they were not able to prove that anybody sent money to the wrong account. ES responds and says, I offered help on a post, but apparently I shouldn't have. No matter how many posts people have made, people are not listening. I responded and said, I don't want people to keep sending to the wrong accounts. And there's old videos that even I think have the wrong info in them possible. Molly had been posting the wrong information in her videos. Granted, she would fix it, but the start of it would have the wrong information and then she would go back and fix it. Thankfully, again, we still don't have proof that any money went to the wrong accounts. Yes responds and says, some are from YouTube that don't even know what's going on over here. I said, yeah, it's a total mess. She says, yes, there has been. Molly had to correct and Justin. I said, if you see anything verified on legit accounts, please let me know so I can make sure people at least are sending to real accounts, not fakes. ES responds and says, someone came to me with your post because you posted about Justin getting super chats. He also had his own Cash App last night, Crime Factor Up. I said, I got that actually too. She responds and says, I told them you have every right to confront that. I said, this is all a mess. If you do see something verified on any accounts, let me know. Trying to get answers is like pulling teeth. ES responds and says, this money is supposed to be for Letitia. Thursday, Letitia is supposed to go live. I responded and said, well, it's going a million places, meaning the money. ES responds and says, I've been trying to play the good understanding side in Justice for Vaughn because it's like walking on eggshells. Yeah, not only that, but do we know that these super chats are getting to Miss Letitia? I responded and said, wait, Molly's admin confirmed super chats are Molly's today. ES responds and says, really? Because you know I can go back on videos to provide proof people sent super chats to Vaughn's mom. It says, Molly, please get this to Miss Letitia, and this is for Miss Letitia. To which I responded and said, yes, I posted it on my page. It was asked in the comments and an admin finally answered. I said, and it's an OG admin of hers, not a new fill-in. And once again, as always, I drop her a screenshot of this. To which ES responds and says, interesting, I'll go in each video and get evidence for you. Do you think she ever sent it? No. I responded and said, sorry, I forgot I had it right there. ES responds and says, that makes sense why Molly posted the video. Some videos don't have the live chat to watch. Holy shit, Molly is a scam. Holy shit, Molly is a scam. Again, I'm just reading the words she wrote. These are Erica's words, not mine. Instead of boring you guys with me reading verbatim the rest of the messages, because yes, there's a lot, I'm going to let you pause and read until the end. But I'm going to stay with you for a few minutes and throw in a few song lyrics that come to mind.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think.
But just so you all know, Erica made sure to explain everything in detail to Molly and Justin and Letitia of what I was trying to get at, so she knew that she wasn't being attacked. Yeah, okay. Also notice in the end of these messages how she continues to go on and on and on about Cartman Crane and William Cartwright. Also notice who she is stating confirmed that it was William in her live. Charlotte, has William been messaging you over and over and over again? And also, can you verify that's his account? Or better yet, can you verify that you confirmed it was him to Erica in an email? Can you do that? And that's not against Charlotte either. Charlotte probably has no clue that once again, she was inserted into some drama with other people, or that people had been bothering Charlotte and or anything with that. Once again, I had it wrong about my opinions, even with Katie's involvement in the beginning. As you can see, I definitely wasn't sure of all of what was happening in the very get-go. And I was transparent about that. I really was confused and remained confused throughout. I'm still confused.
I know you lie, 'cause your lips are moving. Tell me, do you think I'm dumb? I might be young, but I am stupid. Talking all the circles with your tongue. I give you bass, you give me sweet talk. Saying I'm your number one, but I know you lie, 'cause your lips are moving.
I guess for me, the big overall moral of the story is Molly is taking information that she is getting from Erica and running with it. Again, another person taking her information and running with it is very unproductive and counterproductive to everything in this story, because she's not only lying to me and people on this side, she's also lying to you guys and fabricating a bunch of information. And I tried so many times to ask her to stop. I asked her to stop the shenanigans of going at Katie on my page. You saw that that quickly got her to say that her account got hit. Meanwhile, she has been telling everybody else that she wasn't even on Facebook anymore, but she has been all along. She has just been involved with random things here and there. And unfortunately, this is historical. She has done this time and time and time again. It's really starting to become
Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain of fools.
And unfortunately, that happens with anything she usually gets involved in. You can see in these messages, I was very transparent with her. I told her I hate exposing sources. All I want is honesty and truthfulness. And she, again, had so many opportunities, and she continues to push and push and push and fabricate things about me, my page, and people around me. She has accused people that I've never even heard of, nor do I know, about running my page. No, this is my page. My page, Erica, only my page. Notice all of the other people that she brings up that are supposedly fake accounts and or in communication with Letitia, or like she refers to them, Letitia's admins. And once again, my main issue with all of this is all of this does nothing to help the situation. Things like this do nothing but hurt situations such as the story. She is fabricating misinformation on purpose and then going from side to side spewing this misinformation. And I've said it over and over and over again. She herself was encouraging people to ask for refunds. She herself told people she had filed a police report, and that is how she got her refund back. She stated that. Nobody else. You can also see what she states about the situation and or these creators. Molly sits there and brags about Erica, who knows all of these people, and all of us are running from Erica because she knows all about us. Well, obviously, we know more about the situation than you do, Molly, and Erica refers to you as a scam. Again, those are her words, not mine. You can read them yourself in these messages. I really don't understand what their thought process is behind doing this, because sooner or later, people will start saying enough is enough. This is ridiculous, and out the truth, such as what I'm doing. These are my full conversations between those two accounts that have been in my inbox that belong to Erica. And what's interesting about all of this is she will have some sort of complete switch on something. This will not be her accounts, or somebody will have hacked her accounts or something. But somehow, some way, she will all spin this around and say that she's not responsible for it. Yet you've heard the voice clips, her voice. You've seen the phone number. That's her phone number. Well, you haven't seen the phone number because I redacted it. And yes, I really hate exposing sources. I absolutely hate to have to expose a source or messages in my inbox. But when you push and push and push, and I've warned you to stop, and you keep lying on me and taking it to the extent of filing false police reports, I will absolutely show the truth.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe, or maybe not.
And I know I say that I hate entertaining the drama. Once again, this is entertaining the drama because she keeps pushing over and over and over again. And now Molly is actually claiming that she's a source that they're using, which again is foolish on their part. You can see I was concerned about Justin's well-being because of what he was getting mixed up in here. You can see that I, again, tried to warn her. I tried to warn all of these people. They ignored me. But I'm going to let you pause and read the rest of these. Tell me what you think in the comments after you read all of these messages. Yes, it's a lot. I know some of you guys are probably going to be like, holy shit. Yeah, that's why I avoid my inbox at times. And one may say, if I knew it was Erica all along, why was I still allowing her to talk to me? Well, in situations like this, you also find out a lot about what's going on. But I got one more song lyric I'm going to leave you with before I finally say goodnight. And you can say that this is directed at anyone and everyone. By the way, if you haven't picked it up yet, I'm kind of an 80s baby and I love 80s hair bands.
You're a real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me. That's okay, let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes and let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
And with that said, once again, thank you all for watching another one of my little crazy rant videos, my Friday frights, as I like to call them. I appreciate all of you for being here. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that thumbs up on your way out. And we will be back this weekend for some more fun and probably debunking of lies. And once again, as always, Cuntessa over and out. And yes, I did leave you guys the typical couple-minute window at the end of the video to keep chatting. Plus, the screen recording has to finish playing out. It's about 3 minutes longer.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber. You better move. You better dance. Let's make a night. You won't remember. I'll be the one. You won't forget.
Molly, that was for you when you fell at the strip club and ate shit under the table. There you go. Good night.